Welcome to the Embrace Strength podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Crocker. I am an experienced trainer and active life professional. I work with people who are struggling with nagging pain to get back to the activities they love without fear of re-injury. This podcast is here to educate and provide value to you on all things health, fitness, staying active, and personal development. Let's dive in. Welcome to my weekly recap from last week. I had every intention to record a weekly recap on Friday, actually, but it was a blur the rest of last week, and it just was just not a priority in my brain, and I was so exhausted after the week. So anyways, last week's weekly recap is coming at you on a Monday again, and this week will be back to normal schedule, but just kind of recap on the last week and officially getting down here to North Carolina and all of that. So let me think. Last week on Monday, the movers came to pack up our stuff, and then on Tuesday, they loaded the moving truck, so we weren't actually rid of all of our stuff until Tuesday. And then on Wednesday was the travel down day to North Carolina. Patrick and the dogs left early. I stayed behind because we had to get our apartment cleaned and I had to turn in the keys. So I left around lunchtime, in which I knew that this was going to be the case, and I knew it was going to be a super long day. So I had been mentally preparing for this long drive and long day that Wednesday had to be. And so I feel like I was mentally prepared for it. But anyway, left around lunchtime on Wednesday to drive down to North Carolina. I had the rest of my stuff in my car. I had a couple palm trees. I had the plants. We have a lot of plants, and so it has been interesting trying to, save most of them and get them down here. I think we did actually a pretty good job of saving a lot of them because Patrick was doing repotting yesterday, and we do have some that are dead, but a lot of them are still alive. So that was a bit of an adventure. So anyway, drove down here, and I got here at about 2 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. And the drive actually, it wasn't terrible until the last 2 hours when I was just on a straight road and it was late and you're trying to stay awake. So basically the last 2 hours were me karaoke in my car, because that always keeps me awake. So, I was doing all the jams in the car the last 2 hours to make sure I made it here. And so then on Wednesday night, I only got 4 hours of sleep because Patrick had to go into work and I had to run meetings and do work on Thursday. So Thursday was running off a lot of adrenaline and caffeine. But anyway, so then Thursday I had a bunch of tiny tasks to do, as you do when you first move into a place. So I had a couple meetings to run in the morning, and then I had to go get our internet equipment because obviously priority was getting internet set up. So had to run and do that stuff on Thursday. Also had to make a small grocery trip, which we are by a Trader Joe's and a Costco again, and I am thrilled because those are honestly the best places to grocery shop, okay? We had a BJ's in Buffalo, but let me tell you, Costco is way better than BJ's. They have way better stuff, so super pumped for that. And then Trader Joe's, you just can't beat a lot of the stuff that they have, and they have good prices. So that made me happy. And then, let me think, I had to run the mobility makeover group call Thursday afternoon. And then we didn't have our stuff yet on Thursday, actually. So went to bed super early on Thursday night, and then Friday our stuff was being delivered. So our stuff got delivered on Friday, which was great because that was basically the earliest they could deliver our stuff. When you get movers, they give you like a moving window of like, okay, your stuff could be delivered from Friday to Monday as a window. And luckily ours was delivered Friday morning. The moving guys were so great. And yeah, so got all of our stuff on Friday. And yeah, that is basically, oh yeah, and then the setting up the internet was a super fiasco too. I don't know what it is about internet. Like, they always tell you, oh, the setup is so easy. You can do it yourself. It'll just take like 10 minutes. No, that is never the case. In our last apartment, I also had a hard time getting the internet set up, and I had to send someone out to fix it. And that happened again. I wasn't able to get it to work. And then like they're doing all this troubleshooting, and they send a guy out here, and yeah, so we have our internet set up, but that was just like a whole nother fiasco of things that was happening on Friday. And it was just a lot. It was a freaking lot. And anyways, so the weekend, which I'll just cover my weekend too, I was just consumed with like unpacking and starting that process. I say process because I don't know what I was on when I was thinking like, oh yeah, we'll be able to get all of our stuff unpacked over that first weekend. It'll just be great. No, that is not the case. And I have largely underestimated the task of unpacking when you move into a house. It takes much longer than just unpacking in a 900 square foot apartment. So where like half of your stuff has to be in storage anyways. So yeah, we have quite the month of May ahead of us with unpacking and getting settled. Our yard is a bit of a project. We have a fenced-in backyard, which is literally amazing, but it is overgrown and like needs to grow some more grass and like all these things. So that's Patrick's project. So Saturday I was unpacking a lot of the stuff in the house, and then Patrick was doing a lot of yard work, and we had to go to Lowe's and like all these things. So I feel like all we did was work over the weekend and barely made a dent and stuff. But no, actually we did get a lot done. It's just going to take longer than I anticipated. And we did also get in some chill time, which was much needed. So looking forward to the first full week in the house. Looking forward to doing some more unpacking, and just super excited to be in this area again. We love it here so much, and it is amazing. It being like 70 or 80 degrees and sunny, like wow. And all these leaves on the trees too. Like if you live in the South, you don't really understand, like in the Northeast, the trees are mostly bare still, like mostly like skeleton bare trees. So then when I got down here, one of the first things I said, I was like, wow, everything is really luscious down here already, which is great and really good for the mood. So I am really excited about that as well. And also it's just so nice being in a house and in an apartment where there's a bunch of noises that the dogs have to deal with. And trust me, they still bark at some things, but overall like way calmer than when like we can hear our neighbors all the time. So that is really great as well. So that's my weekly recap. It was a hectic week, but super happy to be here and feeling really grateful. And I'm excited for this new season and what is ahead. So stay tuned for my weekly recap on Friday, getting back to a Friday schedule. But yeah, May will be really busy for me, but lots of good things. I'm running my first retreat at the end of the month with my one-on-one mentorship clients, with my VIP clients. I'm really excited. I've wanted to run an in-person thing for coaches for a very long time, and it's finally happening. So that'll be a really cool thing that comes to life at the end of the month. So anyways, thanks for listening, and I will chat with you guys in the next recap.